Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland A's. In our previous episode, we went through the offseason. And a lot of our players are the same, but we're trusting our youngsters a bit more to do big things. Or at least medium things. Now, a lot of you in the comments said, basically, in so many words, Abby, have you lost your damn mind? Why are you spending that much money on a first baseman? That is an incredibly fair statement. Incredibly fair. And I don't have an answer for you. I don't see a world in which spending that much money for any one player is worth it. That being said, we're probably going to need to make some other hard decisions in the future, but I think for right now at least, I'm willing to keep him around a little bit longer. The reason I'm willing to keep him, by the way, is because I don't want everyone to just despise me until the end of time. And because arbitration, the owner has to pay it. The owner can't choose not to pay arbitration. By the way, they fixed the glitch. Thank you to the many of you who said it. The glitch in the system that basically said that you can never offer people their single-year arbitration deals. If we're going to spend money on anybody, it has to be somebody fairly cheap or somebody that we can get a decent discount on. So not Paul Skeens. Also, you're like, fuck you, dude. Which, okay, fair. So yeah. So we're not going to keep Soderstrom for too long, but I will keep him as long as it's financially viable and as long as we're getting really good production out of him. If any of that starts to change, we'll consider trading. Kobe said they trade him already. He's a local boy. That's the other thing that really hurts him, losing him, until he still have a clear, ready replacement. Which might be Nick Kurtz. I don't know. We'll find out. With that said, I think this is a fantastic time to go ahead and continue our baseballing. Let's baseball real good, guys. Let's baseball real good. Got somebody who's on DFA. These two jokers. I don't get the attraction of moving him earlier. Okay, we get Max Muncy back, which is wonderful news. Brady House is playing pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and send Muncy off for a rehab assignment. Let him work some shit out. Fujii probably needs to go. I want to try to get... Like, he's only at the minimum. I kind of want to wait to trade him until I absolutely have to, but that probably reaching a point where that probably is going to have to be a thing. Let's keep going to the end of the month. Three homers for Confidant. Very cool. Very, very cool. Ooh. Alberto Flores is adding some fun to his fastball. You'd love to see it. Who even is Ariel Almonte? I don't remember you at all. Oh, I traded for you. I suppose I did at that. Neat. Nito Completo. So here's my question. What does Nick Allen offer? Yeah, he is very reliable defensively. I guess there's that. Okay. Would we rather have Max Muncy or would we rather have Rubiel Angeles? I think we need to trade Rubiel Angeles if we can. I think he is by far the most expendable member of the current roster, and he's only going to get really expensive going forward. So let's talk trade. Other teams. Is there an interesting player to be had for him? Okay, I will trade him for anybody that's worth at least a 50, as long as it's the right player. You're a very good all-around hitter and a pretty decent corner outfielder. Guys like you are kind of a dime a dozen right now, though. Roberto Campos doesn't really move the needle for me. Denzer Guzman is a really good defensive third baseman. There's certainly not no value in that, but it's not a huge amount of value. Reagan Burford is kind of unimpressive. Wilfred Varas. Can I get a prospect package? I wonder. I mean... Hi. So Tommy White could very well become our replacement for Tyler Soderstrom. I frankly don't see what's not to like about that. I mean, yes, I could get 3 prospects here of various degrees. But if you can get an elite player, you have to try it. Right? Like, that's mandatory. So yeah, I'm going to acquire Tommy White. I don't even know who that other guy was, and frankly, I don't care. I'm going to put you on the 38-man roster, and you're going immediately to AAA, but you won't be there for long. If Soderstrom gets injured or starts to slip a bit, I will probably promote you. Speaking of promoting, Max Muncy back in the bigs. What? And let's make that a thing. So you put Muncy at second, which I think makes tons of sense. Brady House stays at third, which equally makes tons of sense. And Brady House is actually playing at a fairly high level this early in the season, so I'm not eager to disrupt him yet. He won't be here forever, but we want him to be very valuable to us in the meantime. Is there a reason to keep Fujii when I have Tommy White? Yes, Tommy White still has some growing to do. And I think letting him play a little bit longer in AAA can only help us. It can only make us a more effective team from top to bottom. Oh, that is my fervent belief. Here's an interesting question. Am I doing Almonte a disservice by keeping him in the majors right now? He's barely playing, and if he's not playing regularly, he won't get better. So I think we send down Almonte and call up Rodin. Because Rodin is what he is at this point. An Ariel Almonte who plays in the minors for a bit longer might be somebody special. And I think special is worth pursuing. And we're playing Max Clark and Robert Hassel anyway, so that's fine. Is there anybody who is clearly overpaid besides Nick Allen? Nick Allen really isn't that good, is he? We will have some choices to make at the end of the season, I think. I probably need to get rid of Shane McClanahan at some point, but we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and play some more baseball, though, before we make any other drastic decisions. I think that's appropriate. Let's baseball a bit more. Let's do a baseball. We could have Trevor Rogers back as a treat. I'm willing to let Matt Cantorino pitch a little bit longer. He certainly hasn't been ineffective. Let's let Trevor Rogers get a rehab assignment. Plus, remember, we don't actually like Trevor Rogers. If he turns out to be shit, we can just not bring him back. You would give me Corbin Carroll, huh? Nope. I have nothing against Corbin Carroll. This is what I have something against. I have a lot against that. I'm not interested. I'll tell you what. Let's go into the team needs screen. Under scouting, right? No, it's not. It's under front office. No. Strategy. No. Scouting. No. There it is. I'm going to ask for a shortstop. I want somebody between the ages of 20 and 24. The salary maximum is $1.7 million. Minimum quality good. And I'll just leave it at that for right now. And let's see if we get any offers for Soderstrom that interest me in a shortstop type direction. Okay, Skeens, this is becoming an issue. I'm becoming annoyed. Minter, it is certainly not personal. It is, I am not spending money on a closer. That's my thinking here. A high-priced closer is something that I simply cannot afford. I'm unable to can. Player development. Max Muncy gets a tiny bit better. Ryan Cusick gets better. Brady House gets better. Eric Petoni is improving. That's wonderful news. Alex Watson's getting better. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Mr. Petoni, how are you at actually playing shortstop by now? Because that's going to directly impact your path to the major leagues. Your bat's pretty decent, but you're a really bad shortstop. You're a marginally acceptable third baseman, so I'm not in any kind of big rush to mess with anything here. Game, stop doing this. I want my rookie league visible to me, please. I am going to do something that somebody recommended to me, which is let the AI control all of my prospects. I think that's fair, and I think it's appropriate to do that, so that's what we'll do. Except Alex Watson. Alex Watson's going to be such an interesting player. I genuinely don't know what he's going to do if and when he makes it to the big leagues. because all of his value is really tied up in his elite defense and his incredibly high plate discipline. And I am not at all convinced that you can make a major league career off of only those two things, but maybe you can. Alex Watson isn't like destroying baseballs, but I think he does need to be tested in AAA sooner rather than later. But we're going to give that some time. We're going to give it some time. And it's going to be great. So how's the team actually doing this year? Well, I can tell you who's not playing well. Tyler Soderstrom and Tsutomu Fujii. We're basically not hitting well at all. If it weren't for our elite pitching, and I do mean elite, we'd be in a world of hurt right now. Now, it is inconceivable that Tyler Soderstrom is this bad, or that Fujii is this bad. Fujii has already put up more value than he did all of last year, just because he's getting on base at a high clip. Confidence is great. He's already proving to be an excellent player, which is very good. We always want to see that. We're getting a ton out of Brady House and Max Muncy. Max Clark is not the best yet, but I still have a feeling that there's more here to this story. And as long as he's playing at a reasonably decent level, I think we'll be okay. Nick Allen and Christian Betancourt have very little to offer us at this point. That's why it needs me a shortstop, guys. Give me a shortstop. Any shortstop at all. Please, I beg you. I'm going to play through one more month just for right now and see if we can start hitting again. That would be lovely. Getting some people promoted. Very, very good. Okay, Bastidas getting hurt isn't great. It's not the end of the world, but it's not great. So what do we do with Trevor Rogers? It would cost us very little to just cut him. Unless there's a pitcher who's even less suited for their current role. Trevor Rogers is objectively better than Q6, so I think we will call up Rogers and let him pitch in the bigs for a bit. We will wait to see how badly Bastidas is hurt. Apparently wasn't that big a deal. Holy shit, guys. Tyler Glasnow pitched a perfect game. Damn, son. Well done. Very well done. I love it. We won 14-0. What a meaningless perfect game, but I love it all the same. I absolutely love it all the same. That is really dope. I'm really happy about that. That's super cool. Player development. Max Muncy is getting better. Connor Hugland has added a knuckle curve. That's kind of sweet. I was like seeing new pictures getting added. Aiden Harris. Josh Mathwig. Alright, so how is it going, my dudes? It's really interesting how few hitters are actually hitting right now. Like, this is beginning to feel like it's intentional that you're all hitting this poorly. And didn't we lower the mound to increase offense? Well, clearly Tyler Soderstrom didn't get the fucking memo. I want to trade him now, but I don't know what we're going to get for him. It doesn't cost you anything to shop him around a bit. Let's not get too stupid. I definitely want a prospect package. I need more than one player to make trading Tyler Soderstrom worth it. Okay, well, maybe we start with one prospect and then as like kind of the Josue DePaulo looks pretty solid. There's a lot to like there for sure. Khalil Watson can play shortstop. Interesting. Nah, Fuenmayor doesn't do it for me. A switch hitter who is the very definition of average at second base does have some value. I'm just not sure how much. Slade Caldwell is a decent defender, but that's about all I can say about him. Steven Machado, Jacob Reimer. No Reimer or Reasoner. I really need more than just one player in order to consider trading Soderstrom. I think that's mandatory. I need at least 2 to 3 players that have some kind of future in a major league club. Torres is not it. Torres is not the kind of guy you get thrilled about. Like, this is a deeply uninteresting system. Like, I guess... Would I do it for these two? I mean, maybe. It's always nice to have depth. I'm going to submit the offer, and I'm going to see what they say about it. I really like our scouting director. I think he's done a really great job. I have nothing but nice things to say about him, so let's get him locked up. Everyone else can just have an extension. I'm gonna give him mood today. David O. Carpenter is a fantastic pitching coach. I would like him to stay, please. There we go. What kind of additions are you asking for? You're asking for really decent relief or really decent prospects, and I don't think it's worth it to me. I'm gonna clear the offer, and I'm gonna wait until a little bit later on, and then talk about trading Soderstrom. Like he could not have less value right now. He is off to such an ice cold start that unless he can start hitting again, it's going to be a really challenging thing here. Who under from Oakland? Edgar Alvarado made it. He's it. Who from the Major League roster? This is not legal, guys. I have it set to force somebody from every roster. Don't I? Or did the game randomly turn that off again? No, all teams have to be represented. Where the fuck is Oakland's player? Huh? Where's my fucking player? I am deeply annoyed by this. Very deeply annoyed. Not one of my players made the All-Star team. We're in first place in the AL West. I get that we're maybe not the greatest team in Major League history, but we're not terrible. Look, you're telling me Confidant isn't worth consideration. I am deeply annoyed. One of my pitchers isn't worthy of making the roster. Like, come on. Rowansi Contreras fucking makes it over Paul Skeens. I don't think so. I don't think so. I saw the game is given a directive, and they're just like, no, fuck you. This is very this enrages me. I am engorged with rage, and I would like you all to go fuck yourselves. One at a time. Look, all players, auto draft. I mean, I don't know if I want to pick a pitcher. His name is Bustos, quite literally. There's quite a few decent pitchers here, though. Let's take a look at Los Pitcherinos. So let's look at Bustos. Nice movement and control, pretty good stuff. A decent mix of pitches. No true breaking pitch. And there's the... I mean, you are left-handed, and so a cutter is incredibly valuable, but I don't think so. I'll tell you what, if nobody else wants to pay for you, I will grab you in the second round without a second's hesitation. Chris Neal, stuff, movement, control, fastball, sinker, changeup. No, thank you. Is a local boy, but no, thank you. Mike Swanson, there's my breaking ball. You're also a really good hitter. Interesting. I do think Mike Swanson is the guy to choose here. Somebody else grabbed Bustos. I guess I'm not that surprised. I wonder who took him. Who got the Bustos? He did make it the second round. I was right about that. So I guess I get like 1 point for that. Danny Jackson does one thing and only one thing. Nope. Arturo here is a bit more well-rounded, and I think he's a better selection. So we will take him. Look, nobody wants Danny Jackson. I will take a chance that he figures out how to hit in the big leagues. I think that's fair. Is there anybody who might be available shortly? I like it a lot. Okay. Let's go back to just looking by potential. The River Liver. How could I not? How is it possible to not? It isn't possible to not. Ephraim the Fae is a pretty decent hitter. I can live with that. Is anybody left a big thumper? Yes, Jared, you're in. Welcome to the Oakland days. I kind of like Aguadillo. I think we're going to go for him. There we go. Do we have any big stuff pitchers who can strike out everybody? Lynn Forney is actually quite a nice pitcher. Let's grab you. And we'll also grab Jimmy Abbott. And I think that's it. I think I've done 10 rounds of drafting. The scout can handle the rest. I will pay the money for him. Let's instantly shortlist the big boys. And let's immediately pay attention to Bryce Clavon here, because he is not far from the big leagues. He's not going right to the bigs, but he has a lot to offer as a shortstop, especially if he can unlock his full potential offensively. I mean, the River of Liver is an obvious pick. But, yeah. The real issue is going to be, I don't know if anyone else is going to want to trade for Soderstrom. That could be a real problem. The Phillies are willing to give me 2 mediocre pitchers for a mediocre catcher. I don't think so. I am extremely annoyed that not a single one of my players made the All-Star team. Not even one. You disgust me, game. I will absolutely not acquire Anthony Rizzo for any reason. I can't afford that. I'll tell you, there's a couple people I wouldn't mind training, but I don't know that there is much of a market for it. Okay, Brian Servin. It doesn't really interest me. Anthony Rendon, no thank you. He is very cheap now, so if I wanted to bring in a third baseman, I could. I'm not unhappy with Brady House, though. It's not Brady House's fault that we haven't been that great this season. Yeah. Like, is Jared Jones better than Tyler Rogers? Yes. I'm not giving up a huge amount for him either. Good stuff. Fastball, slider, curveball. Yeah, I guess we can make this trade. I guess that makes sense to me. Let's trade Trevor Rogers now. Somebody's gonna want him. And be willing to give up an intriguing prospect for him. Alexis Azuaje would be more interesting if he could actually play shortstop, which he can't. Jojo Blackman is not very fascinating either. Rafael Cruz, maybe. I miss Jeffrey De Los Santos. Maybe. Luis Ravelo at least offers me a really good defensive shortstop. That's better than Nick Allen. So I think we do this. Jerry Jones goes up to the Major League roster. Bastidas gets released and goes back to his home team. Ravelo takes over there. And then I think we just trade Nick Allen at this point. Like, there's nothing that Nick Allen has left to show me. If I can get an interesting prospect at all for him, I will jump on it. I'm really getting kind of a shitty deal here, but I guess I can't blame myself. I can't blame the AI for not offering me much of interest for a player that's not that interesting. I'll take Rowdy here just because Rowdy is at least a decent defender. He could turn into something down the line, perhaps. The only reason I'm hesitant to trade Christian Betancourt is because I don't know what kind of effect he's having on our staff. That's the only thing that's stopping me. You'd give me Joey Bart. I don't think so. I'm tempted, but I don't think so. Tomas Nido and Juan Jimenez, who isn't uninteresting. I don't really need a starting catcher, though, especially one that's just... Okay, Edwin Arroyo. Yes, he'd be amazing. You're not going to give him to me. Like, come on, my guy. Like, you're not going to give me Arroyo. I'd be over the moon if you did, but you're not going to do it. I'm going to try. Doesn't he play for the Reds, or did I misread that? Yeah, he plays for Cincinnati. What the fuck? Why can't I trade for him? Oh, is he on the injured list? No, he's not on the injured list. Where is this magnificent stallion? What have you done with him? Here he is. I literally can't trade for him. What the fuck, game? Why can I not trade for him? Why is it not a legal thing to do? Oh, there he is. Okay. But I thought for you Tyler Soderstrom as a starting point. No. Your response is for me to go fuck myself. And to be honest, I'm not sure that's unreasonable. And he's also going to cost a lot of money. He's a really good player, though. He play well at any of 3 positions. What am I willing to give up to make this happen? Alvarado is a much better prospect than Alex Watson, but Watson is much closer to being Major League ready. So I don't really want to give either one of them yet. I've got to give something to get something, right? I think Aguayo is a fair piece. As is Campos. But Tony will never play anywhere but third base. I'm giving up an awful lot for this. Am I okay with that? Now, bear in mind, Arroyo is already in the position of costing me money in arbitration. I don't think I can do this deal. It's really tempting, but I cannot do that deal. That is not a deal that is available to me. I don't want Rendon. I don't want Nito. You're basically trying to get me to take on your salary, and for right now, I just don't see that being very smart. I mean, we can talk, but you're going to want your $11 million again, and I can't afford that. Okay, let's start trading deadline day. Reject. Rejected. 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 Oh, did I never put Soderstrom on the block? I could have sworn that I did, but perhaps I didn't. Peyton Green is really fucking good. I don't think I can ignore a deal with that quality of prospect. I think this is our deal here. Fans, I know you're bummed. I'm sorry, but it's going to be better for the team in the long run, trust me. Is Tommy White obliterating AAA? He is, but he's also playing in the Pacific Coast League. Let's do Kurtz for now. And then I need a backup shortstop or a backup infielder. Let's get Batoni involved. Right? Or Jorge. Batoni can at least theoretically play shortstop. There's some value in that. Let's get rid of Betancourt. What can we do for Mr. Betancourt? Any prospect that's even remotely interesting, and I will trade Betancourt. Nobody? Okay. Yeah, I don't really need Joey Bart. Nah, I don't want Ryan McMahon. I think I'm probably done, actually. I could trade for Carson Kelly to improve catcher, but I think, honestly, I just want to get rid of, what's-his-face? Okay. On a pitch like Javier would be pretty great, but I don't think that's helpful enough. Really? Nobody wants Betancourt? What if I asked for a regular or even a veteran? I mean, Thomas Schapucki would be a pretty solid addition to our bullpen. Let's do it. And then, we send Chad Smith. We can trade him, I guess. Try to get a prospect for him. That should be a little bit easier than getting one for Betancourt. Really? Okay. Really? Wild. I will take literally anybody that only costs me a minor league contract as long as they offer some interesting bit of value. If Andres Alvarez could play shortstop, I would consider it. Because I do need a new utility guy. Nolan Jones only plays first. Michael Bush only really plays first. I mean, a guy like Cal Raleigh is interesting. He's more interesting than keeping Daniel Susac on the roster, so I think I'll go for this. So what this means is that Mr. Cal Raleigh and Mr. Schapucki both get promoted. Peyton Green gets added to the 38-man, but then goes to AAA for now. And most importantly, we're gonna send down Daniel Susac, and we're yes. We're gonna send down Daniel Susac, and we're gonna call up Alex Watson. don't want Anthony Rendon. What about Anthony Rendon do you think I am desperate for, that my life will be meaningless without him? I don't know. I think Fujii needs to be traded too. So what do you want to talk about, game? Are there interesting prospects to be had? Or hell, just interesting players. Brett Harris does not qualify, by the way. You're a borderline starter, my friend. That's not uninteresting. Like, Fujii's eyes that he's cheap, right? And that's actually not going to change. So, as long as he is cheap and relatively competent, I don't feel a need to hurry and get rid of him. Yeah, I think we'll keep him around for now. Oh, you don't have any money. That's embarrassing. Nope. There's 3 win now teams, sorry. Let's look at the Cardinals, and the Cardinals don't have any money either. You've all badly mismanaged your finances. That's not on, guys. That's not ideal. I don't want to trade Minter just to trade Minter. That seems kind of short-sighted. Who's still on the trade block? I could bring in Pete Alonso for a year. But I don't think that makes sense. No. I'm just not into that. Like, Isaac Paredes is pretty solid. I'm just can't afford that. So I think we're just gonna end the sim. Because you're just gonna keep making stupid deals that I have no desire to take. Hi there. Dude, you are like the ultimate fucking utility guy. And yes, you're costing me Clay Holmes. I'm not going to bring him back anyway. Let's negotiate on this one. If you want Clay Holmes, I'll give you Clay Holmes. I will throw in Fujii, actually. Done. Okay. So the new guy gets called up to... This means Batoni goes back to the minors. Sorry, you were on the minors in the majors for all like 30 seconds. This means Peyton Green can go to the majors because he's the best hitter that's not in the majors right now. How many position players do we have? We have 13 and 12 pitchers. I probably need one more pitcher. Which I guess means Jack Anderson, I suppose? Okay. Yes, I'm reasonably comfortable with this. I think we haven't made the team worse. Is the most important story to be had here. We have not made the team worse at all. We've actually made it better. And I am very happy about that. Interesting. So Muncie is the guy you call upon to be your DH. Okay. Oh, you don't need to feel obligated to force yourself to use Brady House anymore. I want you to make what makes the best team for us at this point. Do your thing, Mark Kotze. Peyton Green is a perfectly cromulent third baseman. I'm happy to let him play third base if we think that's what's best for him and best for the team. You are not playing Nick Kurtz at all. How do I feel about that? I guess I feel alright about it. For right now, anyway. The only other move I could maybe make is keeping Batoni on the roster and sending down somebody like Moronta? No, Moronta's really good defensively. I think having a lot of defense up the middle is going to make us a better team. Is there another obvious move to make? Maybe getting rid of Hassel? You're giving me a younger player, but I don't think this does much for me. No, you can end the sim. That's all the trades I wanted to make anyway. This is about deciding how I want to set up my major league roster with the players I've acquired. Hassel the Third feels like kind of a weak ass player by this point. I'm going to send down Hassel and call up Almonte. I think that's the right move here. And I'll put him on the trade block and maybe trade him in the offseason. Almonte or Batoni? But I do think we need another outfielder, so I think Almonte is the call. And then let's reconfigure things here. So then Peyton Green plays first base. He's actually not terrible at it, so I'm more than happy to let him get some reps in the big leagues. Okay. I'm not over enthused about our current middle infield setup. The only thing I could think of would be to maybe send down, say, Brady House to call up Carlos Jorge, who's a much better hitter, but Moronta is so good defensively. I don't see the AI voluntarily not playing him. I know how the AI acts, and this is the kind of guy that the AI is just going to go batshit over him because he's going to be a great defender. All right, I feel like getting rid of Alan Roden is the other thing we could do. But I think I'm all right for right now. There's already a very different team than when we started the season. I don't know why you're playing Alan Roden as DH. What is it about mediocre on-base guys that we just can't get enough of, apparently? I mean, we'll see what happens, but... Ooh, Jimmy Abbott has improved significantly. You'd love to see it. I'm just going to go ahead and plow on through to do roster expansion, or maybe the game will freeze up. That's fine too. There we go, it's better. I sure wish we could start scoring runs regularly. We might need to think long and hard about what our current roster is good at and what it isn't, and find ways to fix shit. I will go and put Ravello on the IL, and we'll call up Batoni, with the understanding that Batoni should not be playing shortstop. That's probably where the game's going to put him, and if so, whatever, but that's not what I want to happen. Yeah, we could just start scoring runs regularly. That would be delightful. It would be truly amazeballs. Holy fuck, the Yankees are good. That's not that surprising, but it is kind of a bummer. Players are getting better, guys. We are developing them at a pretty high rate. And I can have up to 38 players on the active roster. I want White, Jorge, Cusick, Hassel, and I think that's good. And then as other people stop being injured, we can call them up. Losing the guy who threw a perfect game is probably not amazing. That is a bit disappointing. We need those really cheap players that we got a lot of last time, where you had these guys who could hit like 80 home runs a year, where it's all making $2 million. That's the kind of guys we need to get us over the top. That'd be pretty dope. I really don't care about Jack Anderson. I know that may shock you and alarm you, but I don't care. Let's turn off day-to-day injuries. I just don't think it's worth us pausing our time. Come on, Oakland. Score runs consistently, you dumb fucks. I will take Ravello back in a heartbeat. And here's the problem. If we don't win the division, I don't think we make the playoffs. I think that's the kind of situation that we're stuck in. Let's check out the pennant chase right now. Oh, I guess we are nearly guaranteed to make it. Wait, how many wild cards are there? There are 3. So basically what the game is trying to tell me is that it's either going to be me or Seattle, unless something terrible happens. So we're going to do 1 sim at a day, right? 1 day at a time now. Okay, losing that game doesn't help. And now we're out of the playoffs. Just by losing that fucking game. I mean, okay, great. Jose Lopez is now out for the year. Wait, I clinched a how did I clinch a playoff appearance? What? Are there? Oh, there's 5. These are the division winners. Okay. Yes, I was in no danger of not making the playoffs. I could still theoretically win the division, but we'll see how that works out. If I win today and Seattle loses, I think... Or I could just lose, that's fine too. I didn't want to win. Winning is for losers. Okay, we made it to the playoffs. I feel like any further concerns need to begin with that critical fact. We made it to the playoffs. We presently have 11 pitchers. That's not going to cut it. As much as I love having a wide and deep bench, I don't think that's a good idea. I think we go ahead and leave Brady House off the roster to add in probably Ryan Cusick. And then I think we probably... I want Nick... No, I guess the guys we have now playing first base are fine. Doesn't have to be Nick Kurtz. You know what? I'd rather have Brady House over Carlos Jorge, but maybe... Yeah. Let's send Carlos... Let's remove him from the playoff roster and add Brady House. I think Brady House has at least earned it. He's played at a pretty high level all year round. We got our catchers in Rowley and Watson. We got our pitcher dudes. Yeah, this is a reasonably good playoff roster. I can live with this. I can live with this. Well, that's one game. And that's what we call 2 games. Very nice. Very nice indeed. We have won a playoff round, guys. That's frankly more than I expected when we started this season. Let's go up to the next playoff round, though. Now we face the Twins. I wish we had Tyler Glasnow back. I'd feel a lot better about our chances if we could have him too, please. Please. Oh, we're playing the Yankees. I don't know why I thought we were playing the Twins. I saw Twins, but no, we're playing the Yankees. And they're really good at hitting baseballs. Yeah, that's some proof of it right there. We win that game. Really, Glasnow, I really need you to stop. Okay? I need you to be healthy. If we win this game, I will play Game 5. And we did. Okay. Let me turn on my audio. Let's go. This is not a great start, right? Like, it's like New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. A's. New York, New York. A's. New York. Stranger things have happened, but to say that I feel less than confident is, I think, not an unreasonable thing to say. Max Clark, it's all going to key up on you. If I can get you to be a real dude and help me out here, that would be awesome. I need you to take pitches and get on base. That's how we're going to win this game. Is if people can get on base. And you're going to take the next pitch, too. Let's try to get Rodon out of the game early-ish, if we can. That's okay. 6 pitches is a worthwhile thing to happen with the first hitter. Okay, he's throwing meatballs just to get him over. I think we need to start swinging a bit more aggressively now. That's 12 pitches already. And we've barely scratched. Really? That last pitch was not a strike. I guess it was a strike. I guess I can't be too annoyed by it. Really, Kyle Wright? You fucking asshole. Really? You're gonna throw this meatball fucking changeup right down the middle and hope that it goes okay. Spoiler alert, it freaking didn't. I mean, I guess we don't allow any other hits the rest of the game. It's not so bad, but you know we're going to be scratching and clawing for runs. This is not going to be an easy game for us in any stretch of the imagination, so we need to be at our very best if we can be. Which does mean getting on base. I understand it's easier said than done, but we need to get on base. You not stop fucking striking out, guys. Nice play. Good job, Clark. Not as good a pitch, though. That's probably a triple? No, it's just a double. Okay. I guess Grisham's not very fast. He is reasonably fast. Oh, we struck him out. I guess that's something. We have just a little base runner as a treat. Just one base runner. That's all I'm asking for at the moment. There we go. We got on base, guys. Yay! Alex Watson, you have an incredible plate discipline. Let's just have you soak up pitches right now. No, I guess you'll get a chance to swing and swing badly. My god, would you stop fucking striking people out, Rodon? Like, you can dial it back anytime now. Okay, Wright is throwing a shit ton of pitches to get the Yankees out. That's not fantastic. Really, you dumb fuck? That was an easy-ass out. I don't know how you missed it, but that's not great. At least you hit it right to Jay Allen. That was nice of you. Well, there we go. We got a base runner. That's a great start to our inning. And a second base runner is an even better start. And a strikeout is less good. Really? Oh my god. It's up to Moronta, and he strikes out. That's fucking bullshit. He did not swing at that pitch. But whatever. Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on Wright. No, dude. Not now. Just please get us out of this inning. I beg you. Get us out of this inning. Oh my god, you fucking asshole! What is with you throwing meatballs right down the middle? What is it about that pitching strategy that you think will lead you to a good outcome? I mean, here's the difference right now. They get base runners and they capitalize. I get base runners and they get stranded. Let's go ahead. Who's up next? 2 lefties and a righty. Let's go ahead and warm up Shapucky, I suppose. Alright, we have to put pressure on him. Seriously. We have to get him to fuck up the way that Wright has been fucking up. Or, you know what we could do? We could just keep striking out. That's fine too, I guess. Or you could do your fucking job and put the ball in play. No, that's on me. I told him to put the ball in play, just hit a weak ground ball. Get my man Thomas in the game. Like, I have never pitched in anger in a real baseball game. I've pitched in softball, but that's it. But I have a feeling that giving up 2 home runs is not a good idea. It's poor pitching. And there's a home... Nope, that's a home run. Can you fuckers stop hitting home runs? Like, any minute now, you can just stop. Oh my god. I am agog. We can just not keep the damn ball in the ballpark. And we're not... Here's the real issue, right? The real issue is that we are not putting together any offense. In the least. Oh, there we go. That could be a double, at least, I think. There we go. That's not even good enough to move the guy up to third, so not great. See, that looked like a screw-up right there. Go ahead and steal second, my friend. Well, let's do hit and run, actually. Jay Allen is really fast, so yeah, I'm not surprised at all that he was able to steal it. Really, Hassel? Well, we got Rodon out of the game. I guess that counts for something. Like, we could stop striking out so often. That would make me feel a lot better. Like, look, it's highly unlikely we're going to come back in this game. Anything is possible, I know, but I don't have a lot of faith in our ability to hit. Like, this entire season, despite having some fairly talented offensive performers, very few of them played at a high level. And that's the kind of thing that's always going to limit how high up we can get in the postseason. No, look, baseball's a weird game, right? Like, you can never really tell what might happen. I'm absolutely not running with this pitch. And the take sign is on. That was not a fucking strike, my guys. That was not remotely a strike. Way to help out the Yankees. Yes, the poor Yankees, a team that already have 27 World Series championships, desperately need that extra edge. And we strike out again. I don't know what our fucking problem is today. We are not at all having good at-bats. What the fuck is that shit? How the hell do you not even try to pick that up, Palouse? Like, you deserve that run. That's on you, fucker. I don't know why you decided to just stand on the mound and stare at the ball just sitting right next to you. Yeah, the difference is they're playing big ball and small ball better than us. Like, they're just better. I don't know any other way to put it other than they're just better than us. I don't know, any given day, any major league team can beat any major league team. That's true, but it just feels like maybe this is, we know Abby is playing the game. Let's deliberately make his hitters all hit worse. I wouldn't put it past the game to do that, but it is a tiny bit annoying that no matter what offense I have, we can't put together innings. Like right there. I got runners in scoring position, so we just harmlessly ground out. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what kind of hitters we need. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what kind of team we need to put together to actually make it so we can actually score fucking runs regularly. Like, in a season that allegedly offense is supposed to get easier, it got much harder for our team. Just fucking stop, Yankees. Fucking stop. Just don't. I will play every damn out of this game because, yeah, but I am deeply, deeply annoyed at how everything has worked out in this particular game. Oh, that was kind of nice. Let's steal second, I guess. And then have you swing. And strike out. Of course, that's our favorite thing in the world to do. Hey, look, we couldn't even fucking manufacture a run to get a second run. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable. Our best hitter was one of our worst hitters. Nobody did any real damage. This was embarrassing from start to finish. Our pitching let us down. Our hitters all decided it would be as fun as possible to strike out at every opportunity. The Yankees were the fucking Yankees, and we were just horribly overmatched. Not a great ending to not the most exciting season either. We can do this part though. This is fine. Let's take the real good players and make sure we invite them all. What are you doing, game? You can definitely invite more people. I don't know what you're doing here, my guy. And let's invite Leva too. We've got fairly good talent. What we're not doing is we're not getting any results. We're absolutely not getting any results. At least when the postseason happens. Look, so part of the issue was one of our very best pitchers got hurt. Understood. A world in which Tyler Glasnow is available, we might have a different outcome. But the thing is that every major league team deals with injuries, right? Like, it's part of baseball. So I can't use it as an excuse. I can't use it as an excuse when we had every opportunity to advance in the playoffs, and as a team, we failed to execute. We were good at nothing that entire game. Like, we pitched poorly, we hit poorly, we played defense well, I guess, and we stole bases well, but that's not enough. It's not enough. We're losing Garrett Irvin. Oh no. Anyway. So we're going to talk about the team and how it went. And then I'm going to leave you all with a thought for next episode. So here's the first thing that we need to be aware of. We had a lot of decent players, and we had very few good players. Not for lack of trying. But while we got some okay years out of a few people, it still remains that we were not as good as we should have been. Which is both good and not so good, right? Like, it's good because it means there's somewhere to go from here. But when, as a team, we hit extremely poorly, I do think we're going to have to make some kind of change in the offseason. And that may mean firing Mark Kotze. Because his bizarre-ass fucking lineups are like... I don't get them. I do not get his obsession with Robert Hassel III. I don't. There's clearly something about him that you believe is special, but I see no evidence that he is that special. Yeah. How many hitters were unqualified successes? Confidant and House to a certain degree. Max Clark was right around league average. We got some really good play out of players that didn't play the whole season. Like Eric Batoni really shone and played very effectively down the stretch. So there's all kinds of room for improvement. I just don't know where that improvement comes from if the players we have don't play well. This is too good a roster to have this many players that are basically offensive zeros. I think Robert Hassel III has to go. I want him just off the team because clearly I cannot trust the AI not to play him. Baby, is Mark Kotze's favorite golf buddy? I certainly could not tell you. But I can tell you where he's not, and that's the Oakland A's. You know what, Alex DeJesus? I don't even care who you are or how good you are. You know what you're not? You're not Robert Hassel III. So, yeah, you can get fucked. Which is a shame, because he wasted some pretty great pitching seasons. Paul Skeens was really good. Shane McClanahan, Kyle Wright, Jared Jones. Everyone was great except for Shipucky. But we had some really good pitching performances. Were they good enough? Definitely not for, like, Shane McClanahan. Like, this is a comically stupid amount of money to pay one player who's not pitching that well. I mean, the fact is our very best pitcher didn't even get to pitch in the postseason. And so that begs the question of, do we bring him back? And I don't know the answer to that, and I'm curious to hear what you all think and where we should go from here. We got a lot of people wanting arbitration raises. We've got some decisions to make, and as always, we have very little money with which to do it. If we can't get rid of Shane McClanahan, I think we're going to be crippled in our ability to add and keep talent. I truly believe that. We will see what our options are as we enter into next season. So obviously, the real question is do we opt out of Glasnow's option? And I don't know the answer to that. I do not know the answer to that. Glasnow is by any measure our best pitcher. And $17 million isn't that unreasonable. I don't know. Fucking Paul Skeens almost like $30 million a year now, doesn't he? I kind of like this deal. Skeens is a really good pitcher. A really good pitcher. And he's getting paid less than McClanahan, who he's better than. If you could just do me a solid and take a bit less money this year, I will make this deal happen. Because we've got to keep some kind of young talent. And unlike a first baseman who's eminently replaceable, Paul Skeens is don't grow on trees. They truly don't. Somebody who's been excellent since he's entered the league and should hopefully only continue to get better. I'm happy to give him that risk. Is it not playing small ball effectively enough? Maybe not. However, we have to keep some players. We have to. So let me know what you think. If you think Glasnow is worth keeping around, or if we should let him go and see where that takes us. It is worth noting that until we get some arbitration deals signed, I don't know how much money we'll have. We're $30 million under, basically, right now. Which is high Shane McClanahan. Can I trade him? Would anybody offer me anything for him? What if I took a veteran? No. That was dumb. This was the single stupidest move I have made in OOTP. Maybe not ever, but it's up there. And the silly thing is that Freddie Tarmac is like 1% of him for 1% the cost. I got hosed here. Kyle Wright. Yeah, we kind of got hosed a bit on him too. It's less egregious because he's making a lot less money. But it's still kind of lame. But he'll be a free agent, so that's one less thing to worry about. Yeah, let me know what you think about Glasnow. I still think that deal for Skeens was mandatory. I really, truly think it's the right decision, and it's going to make us... Having a great pitcher locked up like that at below market rates is how we succeed as a small market team. Because look, if fucking Shane McClanahan can make $33 million a year, up to $40 million basically, I don't see how he's not worth 25 on the open market. So I think locking him up now is going to be really beneficial. Moronta's going to struggle to hit. But he is really good defensively, so he has value even if he isn't necessarily going to be worth a ton of money. What does Jared Jones want? I could just, like, go through and just do the arbitration shit real fast. You know what? Let's do that. Let's make arbitration decisions now, and then we can go from there. So, reduce, reuse, recycle. Jonathan Boland didn't even pitch in the major leagues, non-tendered. I'm not opposed to keeping Cal Raleigh along as a backup catcher. I think he's better than anybody else we've got, so I'm willing to give him a slight raise for that. I'll tell you who I'm not willing to give a raise to. Thomas Shapucky. I mean, he did pitch relatively well for us down the stretch. And he's not a starting pitcher. I won't let him start. So that might make his value slightly higher. I guess we can give him one more year to show that he isn't the worst. So here's the thing. I need a closer. So keeping Estrada makes sense. Estrada was a really good pitcher and is probably a closer for us. So giving him a raise is reasonable. But then I'm not going to keep Pilius. I will probably try to trade him next episode. That's fine. I'm going to trade Pilius now. I'm going to see if we can't get a decent prospect for him. I mean, I can get a pretty decent center fielder in Roman Anthony. What is your deal, my dude? Your deal's that you're a terrible center fielder. I don't really need yet another outfielder, if I'm honest with you. Everett Johnson could grow into a pretty decent player, so I think I'm willing to go for him. So there we go. So we're paying some money in arbitration, but other than Estrada's contract skyrocketing when we need someone to pitch in the late innings, I think we're doing okay. And look, even if I opted out of what's-his-face's contract, it wouldn't matter. We got to get rid of Shane McClanahan. Maybe we can like shove him down a well or something. I don't know, but that's kind of what we have to do. But my friends, I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, please remember to like, subscribe. Feel free to either mock me or praise me for the Paul Skeens deal. Assuming it goes through. It might not go through. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you